Hello and welcome back to Leah's Book Reviews. This week I started on the kids series The Blueberry Stories with Valegro, Little Horse with a Big Dream, and Valegro, The Early Years by Carl Hester and Janet Rising. If you would prefer to read the written reviews for these books, I have linked those down below in the description for both my Facebook and my Goodreads page. So this was an interesting series to read as both a horse person and a literature person. Carl Hester is a large name in the equestrian dressage world, in the equestrian world period. He's been to the Olympics multiple times with dressage horses and won multiple titles with it. So to read a book by him was interesting. Janet Rising, they don't really explain how much of a role she played in writing the book. I would assume that she was more there as an author to keep things steady and flowing. So, about the books, this is about the Olympic dressage horse Valegro. It's called The Blueberry Stories because his barn name is Blueberry when he arrived to Brook Mill Stables, which is Carl's farm. The fun thing about these is it's actually written from Valegro or Blueberry's point of view. So it's a weird combination of fiction and truth because yes, it's written from Blueberry's point of view. So, you know, you're getting Blueberry's thoughts and feelings and emotions and how he's handling everything, which is obviously to a point fiction because we can't look into a horse's head and see what's happening. But there's also the element of truth to it because it's being written by Carl Hester, who is the person that trained and helped bring Valegro up to the level that he is. So, you know, all the competitions he's going to, any of the accidents he does, how he behaves on the trail, is all true. So it was kind of just a fun combination of fiction and truth with this. So the first book, Little Horse with a Big Dream, mainly focuses on Valegro's arrival to Brook Mill Stables. There he meets the one-eyed dog Lulu. He's featured right there, and it is an actual dog. I did look that up, and she does live with Carl. And he learns from Lulu and his training at the stables what it means to be a dressage horse. So if you don't know what dressage is, the easiest explanation I can give is if you know the white stallions of Lipizzan, the Lipizzaners, the dancing white horses, that's the highest level of dressage. Now, what Valegro describes is a different form of dressage. It's competitive dressage versus the classical dressage. And so he does different movements. But if you've watched the Olympics, and I mean, if you want to look up Valegro performing at the Olympics, I'll actually find a good video and link that below for you as well. It's just fun to watch. So yeah, you learn all of this actually in this book. I'm just trying to give you an idea of what it is. And then in the second book that I'm talking about, there's 6 books total in the series. There's going to be 2 books in each video review for you. The Early Years, it goes on to explain his training, culminating in his first show. You do get more characters in this time. You know, you met Orange in the first book, and then in this book you get to know Utopia better, as well as Regency, and Bonnie and Clyde the cat, and of course Lulu is still there. So it's a fun kids series books, especially for a horse kid. It's a good introduction to them to kind of what dressage is, to see if they'd be interested in doing it in the future. These I borrowed from my niece again, and she actually shows in Western classes, so totally different discipline for her, but this was just a fun introduction to show her what competitive dressage looks like. So if you have a horse kid, definitely this would be a good, fun read for them. If you borrow it from Carl Hester's store, he will actually give you a signed copy if you buy it from his store. If you just buy it from Amazon, of course, you don't get that. If you want to learn more about Valegro, there's actually a couple of books. One was written by Carl Hester again about his training, and then Charlotte Desjardins, who actually ends up writing Valegro to the Olympic levels, also wrote a book about her life and competitive dressage, so that talks a lot about Valegro as well. But anyway, the Blueberry Stories is meant for a kids series. It's still a lot of fun to read. I enjoy reading the kids' books sometimes. It just gives me some light reading after some of the heavy classics that I read on a regular basis, or my spiritual self-help books. If you're just looking for a light read that's fun, or you have a horse kid, these are good, fun, safe books to read. They are aimed and directed at kids with the appropriate content. So, again, I'll have the reviews linked below for you for Facebook and Goodreads. If you want to give this video a like and maybe a subscribe, I'd appreciate it. And thank you all for your time, and you have a good day.